Hello everyone, this is Hamsika Prakash and welcome back to my show Long Distancing, where we discuss mental health and stress across various professions. We all love watching movies and a lot of us are movie buffs. We have danced, we have sang, we have cried, we have laughed, we have celebrated all our movies and will continue to do so. Our guest today is also an ardent lover of movies and after years of hard work is finally making his mark in the sandalwood industry. He started his acting career with Yugalageethe, a Kannada daily show telecasted on Colors Kannada TV Channel. Through that, he got an opportunity to work with the very talented director Anup Bhandari in his second project, Rajaratha. After that, he played the lead in the recently released film Made In Bengaluru, a story about the city and its startup culture. Being an actor looks like a dream to a lot of people, and then there are a lot others who think an actor's job is very easy. But in reality, it requires a humongous level of dedication, hard work and patience to sustain in an industry that's fast growing. But with hard work, success and popularity also comes the stress part, and handling stress is not easy in any role. So without waiting any longer, let's welcome our guest on today's episode, Madhusudhan Govind.
Hi Madhu, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for accepting to be a part of this show. I really appreciate it, and I think after a very long time, even we are talking.
True. Yeah, I know.
This way, yeah. So the last time I met you was last year when I was in Bangalore, and it was just a brief catch up. So once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Thanks, Madhu. So we'll start with our first segment. Being an actor is definitely not easy, and I'm sure you would agree with me that there might be a lot of people who would think that, oh, you just walk in front of the camera, act. It's all the other people's job that happens mainly, but it's a very huge responsibility on your part as well, and it's not an easy thing to be an actor, especially in a growing industry. So can you talk us through your journey of how you started, like your experience in television and the movie industry, and what are the differences that you see?
Right from my childhood, I was a big film buff. Kids of 90s, mostly we are into cricket, films.
Yes.
And I think software and all started a little late for us in Bangalore. So growing up watching a lot of films, in my 7th standard I was very sure I'll get into films. But I was very sure about it. But how it takes a lot of effort in homes like us where we need to convince them, and so to not disturb their mindset, I also did my engineering. I got into an IT job, and then very easily I quit my job and got into films. But that was actually a very easy part of my film career. But the journey started there. When I had to identify my way up, because not being a part of any family which has any connection with films, or not having that much of knowledge in the world of films, you need to create your own path. So that's where I realized first you need to groom yourself as an actor. So that's when I met a lot of people in theatre, Rangabhumi. Where I started my Kannada theatre. I worked with three teams. So one was Srinivasa Kala Mandira. I was one of the teams, and then I got into another team called Kalatmika. Then I got into another team called Dramatrix.
Okay.
So it took me almost around 3 to 4 years in theatre, where I just tried to understand the responsibilities and what it takes to be an actor in Indian film industry, in Kannada film industry. And from there, then I realized, okay, so doing theatres, I was very clear inside that I wanted to be a film actor, not just an actor. So to get into films, my next go-to place was television. So luckily, I got to audition through these theatre shows that I had done. I met a few producers in television, and I got to audition. And my first or second audition, I got an opportunity to again act in a serial. So it was for one of the prominent Kannada television channels called Colors. So that's where I got an opportunity to act in a serial called Yugalageethe. So that went on for 2 years, 1.5, 2 years. So while I was doing that again, I was meeting a lot of people, and then fortunately I got to meet Anup Bhandari sir, so the director of Rangitaranaga. So yeah, so I auditioned for one of his projects called Rajaratha. So where I played a very small part in that film, but I got to meet a lot of aspiring directors and film enthusiasts on the set. So it was a very big set where we shot for almost 40-45 days in Ooty. But because of the weather, we could shoot very little, but we got to interact a lot. That helped me a lot to understand how actual film works and how, what it takes to be, again, an actor in the real film world. So there I met one of the associate directors called Gladwin Pinto.
Mm-hmm.
So along with him, I did a short film, and then he introduced director of Made in Bengaluru. So then, I got an opportunity to play the lead in this film.
Yes.
So after this, I have around 2 projects in hand right now, which are up for release. So to just precisely tell you how it all started.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what are the differences that you see in the television industry and the movie industry? Are there any prominent differences that you have noticed?
Oh yeah, basically television industry is more about, it's like going to a regular job where you have tasks to do every day. You need to finish it so that it's delivered on time and it's telecasted on time, because you have people waiting for a new episode every day. So it's mostly very mechanical, but it teaches you speed. I mean, it teaches you to understand scripts fast. It teaches you to emote faster. So you have new scripts coming every day and you need to prepare on the spot. You need to be very spontaneous, and learning happens very fast in television. And it's not that focused on emotions, because the deadlines will be really close, if you don't have the banking, and the directors will have a lot of pressure. The production houses will have a lot of pressure to deliver. It's more like your daily job, IT job or any other job where you go Monday to Friday and you come back and you have a very stipulated time, where you work for television. But on the other hand, films totally work on emotions. Films totally work on, getting the best out of an actor, because it reaches a larger audience in the first place. And secondly, films are something which will be remembered for a longer time. So it becomes the responsibility of the filmmaker, the director, and the entire team to, do something, deliver something which is at least worth being in the minds and hearts of people. So that is the reason. There are a lot of mediums now to tell a story, but I think films are something which will always stay on top in terms of performances, in terms of communicating, in terms of emotions, and in terms of recall value as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So, the difference is, again, a lot of effort goes into TV serials, but a lot of passion, love, and, the best out of any craftsman comes out in a film. So that is something that I've noticed.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you have all the roles that you have played. Also, they're all different to each other. And you said Yugalageethe was running almost for 2 years. So I'm pretty sure you would have had a lot of fan interactions. And so how does it feel to be actually recognized and getting all the love? And also, as you know, on social media these days, trolling has become a very big part of any actor's life or any public figure. So how do you deal with both the good attention and the trolling that happens? And does it really affect you mentally?
To be honest, again, people liking your work, coming, talking to you, conveying it to you, and also some critics which are very constructive is always beneficial for an actor in understanding his craft and in identifying good projects in the future also. It will help you there. But when it comes to trolling, I think, if you are a public figure, I'm not talking in general. But if you are a public figure, I think with time, social media will become unidirectional, where people will just post and leave the rest to audience, or they can turn off the comments and whatever and just post. It will become unidirectional if this continues, because there is no space for anybody to communicate anything, because there are pros and cons for everything, and everything is looked at from the left, right, center, whatever it is. So I think it will eventually become unidirectional, where public figures will just post and leave it, and they'll not think about who is commenting and all. But personally, yeah, I have not faced anything directly, but I've seen my co-actors face a lot of harsh comments on social media about how they look, what they do, and with whom they are.
Yeah.
Again, you need to realize, people, all of them have social media accounts, and it's free. It doesn't cost them anything. So when something comes for free, it comes at a cost. So we need to be careful about how we, treat it mentally.
Yeah.
We shouldn't take it so personally also, because the reach social media gives you is unparalleled. The way a lot of actors or new content that is coming is the way it is reaching across the globe is tremendous. The way it is helping us position our industry, our content, our films, our stories is superb. But it always has its own cons, and I think the social media trolling has become one part of it. But by understanding that there are a lot of people who have time and who have all the energy to post such useless comments is something that we need to understand as actors, and just let it be and not try to react much, because you will know their intention by reading the comment. So as soon as you understand what they are trying to force you to get into, or if they want you to have or if they want you to reply to their comments, maybe there we need to stop, because giving back to them again is a waste of time, because they have all the time to just do this, but you can utilize time for a lot of other constructive things. So I think it's just in the mind, where we need to understand that when something comes for free, it comes at a cost. So better be a little prepared. That's it. So
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually. Yeah, that's nice. So if I ask you, what has been a life-changing decision that you have taken till now, what would you answer for that one?
to be honest, more than calling it life-changing decision, that one thought where I realized I had to follow my heart
Mhm.
was something that really changed things for me. You know, I just lost a huge baggage that was around me once I decided, and I made that guts. I built that guts to tell my parents and convince my family that no, I can't be doing the traditional IT job anymore, and that's not something that's giving me happiness. A lot of things come with it. It's not about just the job, because even I enjoyed my IT job, but I knew very clearly that that was not my place.
Yeah.
But a lot of things teach you something which stays with you for long. So one thing I learned through all that was, to just follow your heart, and be very bold enough to follow your heart, because you need a lot of strength to follow your heart. Because few decisions will not be something that will fit into the social norms that you are in, but you need to, believe, trust yourself, have faith in yourself, and take that leap, which will give you, trust me, I mean, if it's not eternal happiness, but that you'll have that long lasting happiness where every day seems very pleasant.
Yeah.
Every day you're energized to do what you want, and you have clarity in your mind in the direction you're heading. So I think that is something that which I consider to be the biggest decision, or my life changing decision.
Awesome. That was a very nice and an insightful thing into the industry, and to know how the television, movies, and everything works. So thank you for that. I have a fun segment that I've prepared for you. So I would like to ask you some fun questions, and let's see how you go. Only thing is, I don't have a hamper. My budget is very bad this time.
No, that's okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's start. Fan interactions are always special to all the actors. So, has there been any interaction that you have had which you felt like really heartwarming or very made you feel very special?
Oh yeah, this happened from one of the parent who watched my film Made in Bengaluru in theater. So when we heard that few screens were filling and the theater guys invited us, we visited a lot of theaters across the city. So in one of the screens, a parent came forward and told me that his son was following his dreams and he wanted to set up a startup related to robotics or something. But his dad was very scared. He didn't want him to quit his job and get into this. But after watching our film, he told, I never realized that I'm in such a beautiful city like Bengaluru, which actually supports dreams, which actually nurtures dreams, and which gives them a path to chase their dreams. So, with your film, the parent was telling me that he got the courage to encourage his kid, and he could support him in his dreams. So, I mean, doing some films and people finding meaning out of it, and people trying to take those values and implementing it live, I think nothing can come close to it. That is the reason we do films, so that it reaches a lot more people. And if not any message out of it, few things like this here and there, it will really help us gain strength to do more work. So that was very, very special for me.
Oh, that's lovely. It's like more than an award, the rewards that you
get. I know.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okay, so Arjun from Yugalageethe, Suraj from Rajaratha, and Suhas from Made in Bengaluru, the three main roles that you have played, right? So, what is it that you like the most about each of these characters that you have played?
Arjun was someone, again, all three characters, whatever I've played, are people who were very emotional. But from Arjun, what I realized was he was not practical. He was in his dreams always. He was always dreaming about his girl, his life, his college, and everything. So I realized I shouldn't be that emotional in life. You should find some balance. That is something that I learned from Arjun. From Suraj again, Suraj was a little aggressive, arrogant. So I realized you shouldn't be there also. So these are some values that I'm picking for my life. So shouldn't be that arrogant also. So finding a middle path was very important. From Suhas, one thing that I carry is, if you have a dream, the only thing that's left in your life is to chase it. Nothing else. Irrespective of what comes, what goes, or what you lose, what you gain. Once you reach where you want to, I think that happiness will make up for the rest of the things. So Suhas gave me that courage again. Yeah.
That's lovely. Okay, so do you have a dream character that you would like to play?
Dream character at this point, to be very honest, I would love to play Anil Kumble sir's biopic sometime. I was a big fan of his. We have had moments where he has picked 10 wickets, and we visited the Anil Kumble circle near MG Road. So, and his jaw was injured and he was still bowling, and he picked up Brian Lara's wicket. So a lot of moments in cricket. So because I also consider myself to be tall, even Anil Kumble sir was a little tall. So I thought somewhere if that fits in, nothing like it.
Oh, that would be lovely.
Yeah.
So when you're on set and shooting for scenes, which emotion do you think is the hardest to emote?
To be very honest, if there are 2 or 3 actors, to create a comical scene is something that I find is very tough. To bring out comedy out of characters is very tough. So that is something which is always challenging.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so when you started your career, when did you first realize that you're actually popular, and when you go out, people are actually identifying you as your character Arjun?
To be very honest, it was right after Yugalageethe hit its 50th or 55th episode.
Oh, wow.
Whenever I went to fill my car with fuel in the petrol bunks, I would see a lot of people, especially women in Shell petrol bunks, identify me saying, hey, we just saw you yesterday, and ಇನ್ನೇ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. they would comment about the story. They would actually tell me that the heroine has another boyfriend. You don't fall for her.
Oh, that's so innocent.
Yeah, they would tell me, don't fall behind. She has a boyfriend. You're just being fooled. She's not clear. She's very immature. She doesn't know how to take a decision. But you shouldn't be going behind her.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. That's when I realized, there would be a lot of women or guys also come, and so it happened in a few petrol bunks. So I remember it was during our 55th episode being telecasted. So that was a very grand episode. So they all loved it, and they came and they were guiding me. So that was the first time I think that happened. Yeah.
That's nice. And people actually thinking, okay, this is happening in real and we should warn him about this girl who's having a boyfriend already. That's so sweet.
Yeah. They take it very personally.
Yeah. You worked with three legends in Made in Bengaluru, and as well many senior artists. So if you have to describe in a sentence how your experience was working with Anant sir, SIIMA sir and Prakash Belwadi sir, amongst the others, what would you say?
See, Anand sir, we've always watched him from our childhood in a lot of films. Gauri Ganesha Namadare. And, seeing all that on TV and meeting him in person was very special for me. He's a very warm man, who's very passionate about acting. He prepares every day. He rehearses his lines. He comes on the set, and he's just like any other actor on set. He's like any actor who's debuting. So he has so much energy in him, which is very infectious. And you start being a little more conscious, and you start preparing well, seeing him prepare. So he creates that competitive spirit on set. So that was a wonderful thing that I got to learn from Anand sir. SIIMA sir is more like your bro, who's really cool, who's really calm, and the way he delivers is something on the contradictory side, but his personality is something which is he's a very calm person who enjoys acting, who enjoys bringing variations, who enjoys experimenting with characters. So that was wonderful about SIIMA sir. He taught me how to enjoy, acting and how to enjoy your profession, basically. And Prakash Belwadi sir is a very well-read man. He's just like another walking encyclopedia who has knowledge about everything. And he was a journalist before. So whenever you're acting with him, he acts from a very factual point of view because he knows facts and he has knowledge about everything that's happening. So he's more like a scientist. So, for us, working with him was, he's very natural. He's very, explorative in his acting. He tries to explore every time. So that was really fresh for me as an actor to see someone do that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so do you have like a bucket list of actors or directors that you would like to work with?
So yeah, I have two people on my mind right now who are doing excellently well in Indian cinema. So one is Rajamouli sir and Prashant Neel sir on the other end. So again, to be the best, you need to work with the best. So anytime with them, I think will be wonderful.
That would be like a tick.
I know.
Yeah, awesome. So from all the projects that you have worked on till date, which role of yours, did you have to prepare a lot for the character?
That was Made in Bengaluru, Suhas. Because Pradeep Shastri, the director of the film, he was a theatre. He had a theatre team of his own where he used to direct a lot of plays. So he had his way of narrating the story, and for us to understand it and to fit our role perfectly, we had a lot of workshops. He was very particular about the way we talk, the way we speak, because we were very particular about bringing out the Bangalore accent in our film, because there's a unique accent here.
Yes.
So there are a few words that are spoken differently, just like how there are words in Mysore that we use.
Yes.
There is something called kwatle and all that they use there. There are different words for that here. So yeah, we wanted all those minute things to be placed very well in the film. So we had I think around workshop for 30 days where he groomed us, and we wanted to bring the Bangalore fashion in our film, where we wear loose shirts and tracks and shorts. We're always comfortable. Unlike the way people style in the north, in Mumbai, in Delhi, where they wear very tight-fitting clothes. But in Bangalore, we're always easy, wearing loose stuff. But we're very brand particular here. We always look for brands and buy very comfortable stuff. So yeah, we wanted to somehow, through fashion, through dialogues, through the performances, through the narrative, we wanted people to connect to the city well through our film. We always wanted our film to be an invitation for people to come to our city, to understand our city. So yeah, so Suhas was the toughest.
The toughest. Awesome.
Yeah.
So imagine you got selected in Big Boss, and you also got a superpower to select some of the contestants that you want to take part in. So who would you choose in your season?
So, I'm a big fan of rocking star Yash.
Oh,
so, to spend time with him would be awesome.
Would be awesome.
To know about his project, because the entire nation is waiting for his next announcement.
Yeah,
maybe I would know it best. He was there. Yeah, to have him there. And I'm again a big cricket fan. To have MS Dhoni along would be wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah,
Anil Kumble sir.
Anil Kumble sir. Because Dhoni's love for cars is something that I really admire, and to know about how it was winning the World Cup is something would be awesome. And again, other than these two, maybe spending time with these two would be awesome. So having them in the house would be awesome. Yeah,
would be awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so your last question. There's like a lot of stars in sandalwood industry have their titles, be it rocking star, power star, or hat-trick hero. So, if ever you want to have a title, or what would your title be known as? What do you think you should be called as?
So there's one thing that I've understood out of films. There are a lot of new titles that come and go, but the only title which is carried on after generations, from one generation to the other, is the tag of being a superstar. So if I can somewhere fit into it, nothing like it. So that is something that I hold very close to my heart. These, of course, there are, fans give a lot of titles to their stars, but the title being, the tag being the superstar of any industry is something that is looked up to and is valued. So that's something that is close to my heart. So someday, hopefully.
Yes, definitely. Why not? I'm actually also curious. So who gives these titles? Are these the fan clubs that give titles to their favorite actors?
Yeah. It's the love that fans show on their actors. Yeah.
And how does it become like the official title of that actor? I've always been curious about this.
Oh yeah, so what happens is there'll be 2-3 audio launches, press meets where the fans start chanting it. So once the director or the producer gets to hear and he sees it coming repeatedly, he'll officially make it the title of his hero. Yeah,
so that's how it works. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's how it's been.
Okay, so after the wonderful segment 2, we are doing our segment 3 and the final segment. So, from all the learnings and experiences that you have had till date, be it professional life or personal life, what have been your key takeaways from it, and what would you like to tell everyone who's watching this episode, like an advice or something from out of your experience?
I don't know if it can be an advice, but what I've learned is there are times where you identify, things that work for you. There are times where you identify things that are close to you and things that you want to do. But you start with it and you quit very easily. So you shouldn't do that. You should keep on repeating it. I think that is where you will season yourself. That is where you will conserve all the energies, and there will be a point where you will get there. And again, as we all live for happiness, that happiness where you're close to what you want to. It might be anything in terms of your profession, in terms of your passion, or in terms of someone you want to be with, or anything. It might be anything in life. To be very consistent in what you want to achieve is very important. So I've found a lot of, things working for me when I've been consistent. And another thing is to, irrespective of what, to follow the right path is very important. Right might be very relative, it might vary from people, but you will know what is right for you. That is something which is very important, where you follow it, because I see a lot of my friends, especially, who, because of the social norms or because of people around them, they keep on altering what they want and they don't know where they're heading. So that is something that I strongly condemn. It's okay. I mean, what happens? I mean, they will comment, they will talk, but how long will they do that? It just takes some time for you to get there. Once you're there, even they'll stop, and you are in return, you're very happy being where you want and what you want to do and what you are heading towards again. So I think to be consistent and also to follow the right path that you find within yourself are the two things that I have found peace in. So maybe it'll somewhere help it'll help others, or someone might connect to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's wonderful. And as you rightly said, people will keep speaking, society will keep speaking, and I think regardless of whatever we do, they will speak. So why not do something that you like, and why not do it consistently?
I know. Yeah. At least one person is happy there.
Exactly, you, which is your own self.
I know.
That's wonderful. That was an amazing takeaway from this episode. So thank you so much again, Madhu, for doing this.
Thanks to you for having me here, having me on your show, and all the best for your show. So it's wonderful seeing you, take up such new initiatives and trying to implement it. So best wishes for all your endeavors.
Thank you so much. And we will be waiting to see you post about your new projects that you said.
Oh, very, very shortly. It's all
very
taking shape.
Oh,
very
wonderful.
Shortly. Yes.
Okay, we'll be waiting. Thank you so much again. And
thank you.
Yeah.
And see you soon in Bangalore.
Yes.
Wow, that was yet another amazing episode, and I'm pretty sure you would have taken something out of it. Keep watching and supporting as we discover more professions, the stress that comes with it, and the way our guests handle it. If you have experienced the same, let us know in the comments how you dealt with it so we can learn from each other. Thank you for watching. Take care.